Hey beauty babes, and welcome back to my channel. So I know I haven't filmed since October, but today's video is the most important thing, which you've hopefully seen by the title. Yes. So today's video is going to be my palettes, highlighter, and eyeshadow, and my favorite colors from each of them, and just kind of like my overall impressions of all of them. So I guess I'm gonna start with the first palette that I've ever got, which actually surprisingly enough was a highlighting palette, and it's the, oh yeah, my cat is also going to be making an appearance throughout this video because that is her cat tree. And she's just kind of roaming around. I'm in my living room. So the first thing that's coming up is the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. And it has a really... Stop that. There we go. That's the problem. Okay. So it has a really cute kind of multi-chrome-ish, almost holographic... Yeah, it's holographic. I lied. Holographic cover with all like the pretty stuff on it. And we open it up from here, and we look inside, and we have 4 beautiful, stunning highlights. Obviously my favorite one is the blue sapphire, because I've obviously hit pan, and this is actually the first product that I've ever hit pan on, because I just buy so much makeup stuff that I use it all pretty evenly, that I just don't hit pan. Anyway, so my second favorite color is the pink opal in here. If you can't tell, it has kind of a dip in it, and then the amethyst, which is really nice, but I don't really wear it. And then green emerald just doesn't really go with my skin tone. So I think once I'm done with the 3 that I like, I'm gonna see if anyone wants it. But I'm gonna swatch them for you guys. Okay, look at how gorgeous these are. Like, I love fun colors and lips, eyeshadow, and highlight, which is probably the most you can do for fun colors. But yeah, so obviously for this one, my favorite shade is the blue sapphire, and this was definitely my first just highlighting in general. Because at that point in time I really wasn't into makeup, and I think this was last year, 2 years ago, and I really wasn't that into makeup, so I really had a hard time spending $32 on this. But you know, now spending like $42 on an eyeshadow palette, it's like, oh, that's cheap. Yeah, so thank God for babysitting, because that has helped fund my addiction. So that's this palette. Overall, if you do want a really good colorful highlight, I definitely suggest this one. First of all, because I love Kat Von D, as you'll see with the following palettes that I got. But I'm very particular about my highlight. Let's move on to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora palette. Now, of course, this is like your girl, like your go-to blinding highlight, because we all know how amazing ABH highlighters are. So again, I like the very unconventional colors. So these ones are super duper gorgeous. I just think that the only one that's like super duper colored, like the Kat Von D one, is Spectra, which is like this beautiful purpley shade right here. And a lot of times I end up mixing the both of these. But I got this one for my birthday last year, so not long enough to hit pan, because I've had this one for a while, and she's still beautiful. That's good. So look at how pigmented she is. Oh my god. We gonna swatch her on my hand. Look at her. And then, of course, my favorite one in here, since we're talking about like favorites today, is this one right here. One named Luna. Oh, also featuring my fading henna. But yes, Luna is my favorite one, because that's like yo go to like blinding highlight. As you can tell, like I'm not like this isn't the best like highlight light. Like normally it's for me a flashlight, but I don't even have one today, so we doing pretty good. Okay, next one is Eclipse. That's this one. This is better for more of a subtle, but again, blinding highlight, if that's a thing. And then there's this nice green toned one, similar to the one in the Kat Von D palette. It's this one right here. It's a more goldish green, so it's called Helia. And that's a really pretty one, but I just don't use it because, again, I'm not really into the greens. The purple one is really nice when you mix it with Luna, because then you still have like that purple sheen. Yeah, so the next one I really like is Orion. I think that's how you say it. I just don't know how to pronounce things. And I mix this one with the blue from the Kat Von D palette all the time, because I think when they're together, they're like, oh my god, your face is like an ocean. Okay, and the last one in this palette, because they're all gorgeous, is Lyra, however one says it. And it's also another kind of peachy color. I like how I go in a curve against my hand. But it's another kind of peachy tone. Like, this is more of a warmer peachy tone. I feel like this is a little cooler peachy tone, or a less warm peachy tone. Again, I feel like the peachy tones, for my skin at least, are a little less blinding, so I don't reach for those as much. But yeah, this is a gorgeous palette, and I got it at the Black Friday sale for $24. Or I convinced my dad to get it for $24. And just casually wiping things off with a random washcloth. Okay, so now we're gonna go back into the order of purchasing things. Next thing I got, yes, is the Modern Renaissance palette. Now this is a lot of people's holy grail palettes. I definitely reach for this one the most because I just love like the warmer tones, and of course the sparkly shiz on my lid. You'll see with my other palettes that I really like sparkles, and if you follow my Instagram at all, sparkles and blinding highlight, or either of my Instagrams actually, sparkles and blinding highlight. But I think I'm gonna do a matte and a shimmer shade from these upcoming palettes because I think that just makes sense. So my favorite matte shade from here, ooh, that's hard. Either Venetian Red or Warm Taupe, because those are just amazing. I mean, I think all of the shadows in here are amazing, but I think for matte shades, those ones are pretty good. And then for shimmer shades, there's only two, of course. And I like the Vermeer shade on top, because it's just, I feel like it has a little more of an extra pop that Primavera doesn't have. But again, they're both beautiful, and I use them both. And of course, oh no, what's happening to my brush? And of course, I love the dual-ended brushes that come with the Anastasia palettes. But one thing I've noticed is that I have all four of like the current Anastasia palettes. One thing I've noticed is that starting from Modern Renaissance, as we get to Soft Glam, that the quality of the brushes kind of decreased, so that's kind of disappointing. Even though I really like all of them. I think I'm just gonna go in order over the Anastasia, and then we're gonna do the last three that I have. Okay. Now, this one gets a lot of mixed reviews, and I know you can already see it, so a lot of people already know what it is. But I have the Subculture palette. Now, I haven't really played with this one enough to be like, oh, I really hate this, or oh, I'm not against this, like a lot of people are. But I got this, first of all, because it was on sale. And I buy a lot of things on sale. That's the reason why I buy a lot of things. And second of all, because I'm really intrigued by the color selection in here. Because even though I don't wear them a lot, I still really enjoy like this maroon shade going on here called All Star and Adorn. Oof, she pretty. But obviously my favorite one from this palette is probably going to be Electric for the shimmer shades because it's a nice multi-chrome. And then my favorite, oh no, I lied, it would have to be Cube. Sorry, I couldn't see it in the camera. but it'd probably have to be Cube because, again, I'm into those crazy shades. And then my favorite matte one would probably have to be Roxy, because Roxy is just a perfect kind of, you know, all over color, if you catch my drift. So I'm gonna swatch Cube for you guys. Honey, where did your pigment go? I remember you being so much more pigmented. So I feel like this is a little bit unfair because I am going over it a few times, but it's a nice kind of, where are you, honey? I don't know if you can see it, but it's shifting from like pink to kind of orangey-ish type thing, you know? You catch my drift? Woo, I hated that, but you did too. And the next one is Roxy, and this is kind of just, this is very similar to Orange Soda in the Soft Glam palette, and to Saturn and Eden, or mostly Saturn in the Prism palette. So just saying, there are some dupes across a lot of palettes, but I think it's good because there are usually a lot of colors that are used a lot. I can English, I swear. Okay. Just for those who are curious as to what Electric looks like, because you don't have the palette or you just want to see me swatch it, here's what it looks like. It's a nice kind of, it looks more green in person, but it does shift between like yellowish green and, you know, all that jazz. So there's that really pretty color again. Okay, on to the Prism palette. Now this is probably one of my favorite palettes. I'm gonna say that about all my palettes. I really like this palette. One of my friends got it for me because I convinced her somehow. But I can, like, there's a lot more oddball shades in here, which is weird because I can do a lot better looks with this palette than I feel like I can with most other palettes, because the shades are just so oddball that they kind of work together and how weird they are. And this one was catching a lot of flack because, again, the quality and because of the color assortment. I'm like, honey, what you doing? I love the color assortment. So here she is. Now, my favorite shimmer shade would definitely have to be Thor. And Osiris. Those are my two favorite because I can't pick between one. And then my favorite matte shade would have to be Lure. I know I say that weird. I'm kind of from the Midwest. So I'm going to swatch Throne, Osiris, and Lure for you guys. So here's what Osiris looks like on the finger. It looks like a shimmery black, basically. But damn, honey, she cute. This looks a lot more black on the camera. If we could just, like... No, we're not having it today. You can kind of see it on my finger. But I'm not getting it to show up really well right now, so I apologize for that. But it's a really pretty kind of bluish purple toned thing with like pink and purple sparkles in it. And as we all know, Christine loves her sparkles. Okay, next is the Throne. This is a really pretty green shade that kind of shifts between purple and green. So we see the purple and we see the green. That one's showing up really nice. Next we have Lure. So here's what she looks like. Again, another beautiful transition shade. Yes, yes, yes. And then that's the old one from the last palette. Okay, so I think I'm going to end this video right here because this is a rather long video for what I'm used to on my channel. But there will be a part 2 to this video, which I'm going to film right now. But I just wanted to let you know I'm going to stop this one right here. And then I'm going to continue on with another 4 palettes that I have right over here on my little table. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you. Bye!